My brother stopped replying to my messages 3 days ago. At first, I thought it was nothing. He'd done this before, gone silent, shut everyone out when the world became too loud for him. But this time felt different. His last message was a single word: wait. I didn't. When I reached his apartment, the door was ajar. Not broken, not forced, just open. A quiet invitation or a warning, I couldn't tell. The lights flickered in the hallway, humming weakly. Dust hung in the air, trembling with every pulse of electricity. I stepped inside. The place smelled wrong. Not decay, something sweeter, something alive. The living room was a mess. Papers scattered, half-empty bottles, a cracked photo frame on the floor. I picked it up. It was the picture of us, the one from last summer, his arm around my shoulder, her face between us, her smile. I felt the first ripple of unease. Then I heard it, soft, like breath brushing the back of my neck. Adrian, my name, whispered. I froze. It came from his bedroom. She shouldn't have been there. Mara, my brother's girlfriend. Or maybe she wasn't just his. For months, I'd ignored the odd messages, the late-night calls, the way she lingered when she laughed at my jokes. I told myself I was imagining it, that she was just kind, that my brother, Daniel, didn't see it because there was nothing to see. But the photo on the floor? Her hand wasn't on his shoulder. It was on mine. I stepped into the bedroom. The light flickered once, then steadied. His phone lay on the bed. I picked it up. Battery dead, screen cracked. But the message threads remained, half visible in the faint afterglow of the screen. Her name, Mara. Hundreds of messages. The timestamps overlapped with mine. Same nights, same hours, same words. A mirrored conversation. I remember feeling the air leave my lungs, slow and deliberate, as if I were rehearsing how to stop breathing altogether. That was when I understood. The silence wasn't avoidance, it was guilt. Daniel had always been the one who had everything handed to him, our parents' approval, the charm, the confidence. But this was different. He'd taken something he wasn't supposed to, something he knew I cared about. And now, he was gone. I didn't tell anyone, not at first. I went home and sat in the dark, replaying every interaction, every glance between them. The laughter that felt too private. The way she touched her neck when he walked into the room. I began to collect things. Quietly. Her social media, archived photos, old captions, subtle edits. His call logs, retrieved from our shared phone plan. Bank records, joint purchases, hotel stays under false names. It was almost clinical. I became a detective dissecting my own memories. 3 nights later, I found the hidden folder in my email, shared from an unknown account. Videos, screenshots, voice messages. Her voice, his. Laughter tangled with whispers. Don't tell him. He'll never know. He's too careful to suspect anything. They were wrong. I sat there for hours, the glow of the screen cutting through the dark, their voices echoing through the hollow in my chest where trust used to live. I didn't rage, didn't break anything. I just made copies, labeled them neatly, chronologically, and waited. When Daniel finally called, his voice trembled. I need to explain. I told him to come over. He did, that night. He looked tired, thinner, eyes red, like someone who hadn't slept in days. I didn't mean for it to happen, he said. You have to believe me. I didn't answer. I slid a small USB drive across the table. What's this? Everything, I said. He plugged it in. The files opened, one by one. Voices, images, laughter. Every lie laid bare under the blue light of the monitor. He didn't look at me. He couldn't. His shoulders shook, a sound caught in his throat, half sob, half plea. I thought you'd never find out, he whispered. I didn't answer. You let me hear. He looked up, confused, broken. I realized in that moment he wasn't just my brother. He was a man I'd outgrown. A man who'd mistaken kindness for weakness. I didn't yell, didn't strike. I simply turned the laptop toward him and pressed play. Mara's voice filled the room, her soft laughter, the same one she used with me once. He covered his face. "Please, Adrian, stop." I didn't. "I already sent it to her," I said. He froze. "She knows I know. She also knows you told her I was fragile, that I wouldn't handle the truth." He looked at me then, truly looked at me, for the first time in years. "You ruined her," he said quietly. "No," I said, "you did. I just showed her the reflection." I stood up, walked to the door, and paused. "She's gone, Daniel, just like you will be, soon enough." He didn't answer, only stared at the flickering light as if it were the last thing keeping him tethered. "It's been a week. He hasn't called. She moved out of the city. I deleted their numbers, burned the photos, and moved the remaining files into a hidden folder named Silence. Sometimes I replay the sound of that whisper in his apartment, my name slipping through the dark. It wasn't fear that night, it was guilt echoing back at me. And maybe that's all ghosts are, truths we refused to face until they whispered loud enough to break us. I didn't lose a brother, I shed one. Because in the end, betrayal doesn't kill you, it clarifies you. And clarity is colder than revenge. Final line. When I finally stopped hearing his voice, I realized it wasn't silence, it was freedom.